Having played a lot of solo duels in Rocket League, I feel like I've seen it all. For example, I once lost a game that I was leading 7-1, and I also managed to come back from a 5-goal deficit when it seemed like nothing was going my way. See, what I'm trying to say is, you learn a lot through matches like that, such as A, never to take a lead for granted, and B, to never give up in 1v1s. So today I want to talk about a special 1v1 match that I played a week ago on stream, and it all started when I queued against a player called No Way I Just. Get it? Because now when he scores it says, "No way, I just scored, woo!" Anyway, let's jump into the match. So the game starts and immediately I'm thrown off by his kickoff and of course concede shortly after from it. And this is gonna become a theme throughout the video, as that was by no means an accident from him, but in this very moment I wasn't suspecting anything and I just thought it was too late for the ball. That was the worst kickoff of all time. Like, how did that work for him? 1-0. Now with chat roasting me for my kickoffs once again, it's time to go and lose yet another kickoff. But this time I've actually got some time to turn around. I know what you're thinking, but hear me out. Obviously I should have turned around to challenge the ball and prevented the goal, but I just didn't trust myself to win a boostless 50-50. Big mistake from my part, I'll admit. So now it's 2-0. We really need to wake up and start to show some presence in the game. Just end me. Alright, now as you can imagine, this isn't the best start to a 1v1 game you could hope for, but funny enough, we basically still have 5 minutes to play. That's right, I actually managed to concede 3 goals in 14 seconds. Would this be the 4th goal? He goes all in for the ceiling shot and finds himself way out of play, to which I finally respond with a shot on target myself and make the game 1-3. Things are looking good now, but coming up we have another diagonal kickoff and surprise surprise, he goes for the very same strategy as in the first one. I finally figure out what's happening and take a crack at putting another one in, which he does a very good job of defending and clearing. But it doesn't take me long to surprise him and find myself in open net once again. 2-3, and all the signs are pointing towards a comeback. If only there wasn't another kickoff. Psych! He tries to do the very same late kickoff again, which I anticipated, and I reply with a cheeky doomsy dish to make it 3-3. Status comeback achieved. With only a minute played, we scored a combined amount of 6 goals already. This is gonna be one interesting game. Decent kickoff here. I mean, we didn't concede straight from it, so that's automatically already a 4-star kickoff for me. Now here my opponent tries to get the ball past me unsuccessfully and we end up fighting over the mid boost. Now, having watched a little too many squishy videos, I go for a ceiling shot and completely misjudge my flip. But interestingly enough, my opponent happens to struggle on the wall and I get a cheap shot on goal to take the lead for the first time this game. Now it's 4-3 and knowing my opponent's kickoff, I'm now always cautious when it comes to challenging kickoffs, so I win the 50-50, but I'm not able to do much with it. As I see him zoom past me, I decide to leave the ball to get some boost and turn around for a quick challenge, to which I end up getting a pretty lucky demo. But just as I'm preparing for my shot, my opponent happens to spawn right under me and puts me off immensely, making me miss my shot. Now it's my opponent's turn to counter my attack and I have no option but to boost starve him and hope he doesn't have any means to boom it into my goal. Which happens to be the case, as he gets a rather weak shot on goal and now it's my turn again to form an attack. I carry the ball on my roof, keeping my eye on the opponent. In situations like these, it's all about predictions and mind games. Obviously, my opponent is shadowing and baiting the challenge right here, but I put all my money on him bluffing, so I give away possession prematurely, to which he finds a pretty easy goal and ties the game square. 4-4. It really could go either way at this point, but at least since my discovery, I haven't lost any kickoffs to my opponent. Here I think long if I want to push, but decide it's best to just grab the boost and let him come at me. 200 IQ play or a big mistake. As he dribbles the ball on his roof, I know exactly what he's going for, but can't react in time. I fall victim to the old age admirable bump play, which works surprisingly well in 1v1s, as I couldn't save it even though I managed to get a touch on the ball. Now, slightly tilted from that bump, I contest the next kickoff, totally forgetting his delayed kickoffs and fall victim once again to his strategy. At this point, I couldn't believe how consistently that kickoff worked. That's the worst kickoff, why? It is blowing my mind that this kickoff is working so consistently. So I'm not gonna lie, the scoreline is now looking pretty dim, and of course to no one's surprise my opponent tries the same thing again. I mean, it has already worked twice, but from this point onwards there's no way I'm letting that one slip past me again. So now I'm trying to close down the gap with a flick, but the shot doesn't quite reach enough power to be a threat, and my opponent gets an easy save. While taking the ball back to my side trying to boost starve him, I accidentally leave him the mid boost and pretty much hand him a shot on target. Luckily it's not that effective and I can get back control of the situation. Now here we fight fight a little bit over the possession until he finally decides to go back and grab some boost. So naturally, I decide to follow him into the corner as he leaves the mid boost uncontested. Here he tries to bait me into a challenge, but I read his bluff and take control of the ball instead. One strong 50-50 and a wave dash later, I find myself in front of the goal and put it on his far side. 5-6. Now it's a 1-goal game with exactly half the game played. Think of this, we already scored 11 goals in just half the game. And this right here is the prime example of a streamer reading chat and conceding a goal. Did I actually see what I'm doing? Stream is fine. Oh my god, I need to stop reading chat. Unfortunately for me, I decided to read the chat at the worst possible time, which made me turn the wrong way for the recovery. Now, is this it? Will a simple mistake such as that one be enough to settle the deal here? The time has come for me to finally wake up and start to focus. But saying that, my opponent just could have extended his lead right there, but ended up missing the target. But the threat is far from being over yet, as my opponent takes the ball under me and makes it not 5-8? What is he doing? He knows he could have easily scored that, but instead he tried to bait me into a desperate save and fake me on the goal line to really make a statement in the game. But I'm not having any of that. That fake attempt right there has really changed my mood for this match. The audacity to try and do that. I wasn't gonna let that slide. So I come at him with an air dribble shot, barely missing the goal, but I wasn't done there. Fast forward just a little bit and I get another attempt at an attack. I try sneaking under the ball to bump him, which he quickly realizes and naturally denies the goal. So we're in our half once again, but like I said, I'm not done. I'm not resting until I get that goal. I put the ball in front of me one final time, fake a shot, and quickly turn around to find the wide post open. 6-7. Now I'm feeling it, because once you taste the comeback, there's no turning back. After a successful kickoff, however, he manages to surprise me with a quick touch, gets the ball past me, and cuts down my momentum entirely, as we now have to defend yet another attack. He manages to keep possession and take the corner boost, but much to my surprise, he leaves the mid boost open. Here we witness another case of the squishy flu as my opponent completely fails an unnecessary ceiling shot attempt, which sets me up for a nice counter. However, the bounce doesn't go my way and I end up with quite a pathetic shot to give him possession of the ball. Now, with just a minute left, I'm running out of options, so I decide to challenge his bounce dribble, which ends up working in my favor. I manage to control the ball before it bounces and tie the score for a second time this match. It's 7-7 now and I have a game to take. Can I teach my opponent a lesson never to underestimate someone in 1v1? Or will this have been all for nothing? Another strong kickoff by me pins him in his own corner while I take mid boost, an unfortunate bounce from my opponent, and I'm there to strike. 8-7. He knows I got him. He knows he's done. My dude is done. So I've done it. After all that, I finally managed to take the lead once again, and it started to look a bit dicey for my opponent. So that time he actually tried to do the fast kickoff, which I was able to read instantly, and it left my opponent in an awkward spot yet again. I managed to fake him to create space for a shot, but barely missed the target, which gives my opponent an opportunity to counterattack. But luckily I'm just about able to stop him from scoring. He now hits the ball up, I misjudged the speed of the ball, and well, desperate times call for desperate measures, and I failed the challenge in an awkward position. Ladies and gentlemen, this game has no boundaries. We now have scored 16 goals and there's still at least one more goal to come. But who will get it? Who will leave this cursed arena happy and who will kick himself for dropping points? 10 more seconds on the clock. Is it gonna go to overtime? Here I boom the ball up one last time. Is this gonna be enough? Is this gonna do it? No, he actually manages to save it. I quickly go to grab his boost in the corner and follow it up with a very weak touch on the ball, which might decide the game, but a bump is enough to take the game to overtime. Alright, regroup, relax, it's overtime. This is where heroes are made and losers also made. I don't know what I just said, but we win yet another kickoff. This could be the deciding factor for all we know. I take the boost, get an extra touch on the ball, and, well, get a lead for the last time in the match. Ladies and gentlemen,
we got him.
So there it is. At the end, I managed to get the win in a very competitive game. Even though I didn't play my best, I thought this game showcased the beauty of 1v1s. To never give up, learn from your opponent's playstyle, and most importantly, not to underestimate your opponents. With that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this different type of video. If you did, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram @MERTZY and leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. That's how you play a 1v1 match. You never give up. Unless you're down by like 5 goals, then you probably give up.